Hi, thank you for joining me today. Today I would like to share with you something that I believe is a daily healthy practice. I've done it all my life, or pretty much most of my life, I should really say, and that is spinal rotations. I share this with everyone, and I share this picture with you so you can see how it's sitting there and how she's turning. Let me show you, since I give this to people when they come in our office, but I'd like to show you really how it's done. Let me show you here. What you do is you sit so your hips are nice and straight. And why do you do that? So your hips are stationary, so that you've got it so your spine is in its nice supported position. And I do it literally like when I'm sitting down in the morning to put on my shoes and socks. Great time because you're there sitting down. And when else do I sit down at a moment when I'm not having to do a bunch of things? Is in the evening when I sit down to take off my shoes and socks. So it just becomes a good spinal healthy habit. And what you do, it's so simple, is you literally sit, have your arms up, and how high you have your arms actually will change how it works with your spine. But I like to go right in the middle because that's where my back, I'll feel it. And you literally, with your head straight, you rotate and rotate, rotate, rotate. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now this, let me tell you, is amazing for how it hydrates the whole spinous process. And where the neck is going along with your shoulders, there's no shearing of any of the discs, there's no pressure being put on it, and my sit bones are in the proper position. And how I hold my arms will even feel different. If I happen to do my rotations with my hands, I sometimes will hold them up like this, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I would actually do 25 of them. Those with my hands up, I'm now getting a little higher on my back. Now, if you find you're stiff and you have a hard time moving first thing in the morning, or just any time, maybe just generally you have a stiff and you don't exercise and you're like, oh, I don't stretch. Take your time, put your arms, let them gradually just kind of hang, and with your head straight, you're going rotate, 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 1 and 2 and if you're stiff, and I've had many a person, they're going and you'll find at first you may only go like this. Okay, does that feel good? But then what you'll do is after a while you'll find as it softens, you'll find that you can do a full rotation. You know, this is so important because you notice little things like even inhibiting your driving. You know, if you can't turn your neck to see a car or someone coming by you and you're having to move your whole shoulder, now you've got your shoulder and head looking this way, and it's not actually a safe way to drive versus a quick glance with the head. And that's another reason why you want to keep this hydration. Now I wanted to share with you, and let me just give you a moment to share here. What exactly are you doing with this? It looks like just like you're exercising or stretching. Oh yeah, I go to the gym. I already do that. Now what you can do is you will find that it actually creates like I like to say, it's like a sponge. I know not many people use a sponge anymore when they're cooking or cleaning in the kitchen. But if you did, if you had a sponge on your kitchen sink, when it's dried out and you haven't used it for a bit, how does it look and feel? It shrinks in and it gets very hard. Now, with that being said, when you take that sponge now and you put it, say, in your sink, and you want to soften it. You can't use it when it's dried out and hard, right? It just won't, so it won't wipe anything. But to get it wet, initially, it doesn't soak up the water very well. It will even float at first on the water because it just kind of takes a while to absorb the water. What do you do to get it moving again quickly? You squeeze it. You squeeze it, you let it, and then it just softens right up, and now you can use it well for your cleaning and rinsing and going about it. It's nice, soft, pliable sponge. Well, this is how our back and our spine is. We have, this is a picture, and you see these little discs, those are like our sponges. They take our impact, they take our gravity pressure, they take all this pressure. There's little sponges. Some people have called them like, we've all heard of the disc, like, oh, it's like a jelly donut. You know, it squeezes out, we get pressure, or we've had a bulge disc. Why? We want to soften it, keep it pliable. You ever notice that people, when they get older, even just generally, they seem to get a little shorter? I've even thought that maybe about myself at times. But with that, why does that happen? Even though they're healthy and nothing, why is that? Why did they lose that inch of height? These discs, see here, there's actually disc space between each spinous process. And with that, they work as our sponge. And they are a sponge for our impact and letting those discs just move back and forth like how we're moving. Well, what happens is, you notice, going back to the sponge, it shrinks when it's dry. Pressure narrows this down so that you literally are losing that nice, soft, and that's where you'll hear sometimes your physicians may say, oh yeah, bone on bone or so. Well, what happened? You had a disc there, and there was like I call it kind of like a cushion in between that you rolled on. With this simple spinal rotations, morning and evening, you are softening that sponge, if you want to say, your disc, hydrating it, drawing in fluids, just like the fluids you're squeezing into the sponge, and actually keeping yourself healthier, and then your nerves can all flow through evenly. I just want to tell you, spinal rotations will not only feel good, but they're going to lengthen your life, help you healthier, you're going to be moving better. Let me share with you one more time so you can really get this picture, because I share this with everyone. Sit, no matter if you don't put shoes and socks on, don't do it then. Find a time when you can do it. I even sometimes do it when I'm sitting at the desk for a long time, just to help soften and smooth and open up my back and rotate, making sure the head is all the way. And just right there, as a final note, this is not the same thing as standing. When I'm standing and doing this, you see how my whole body is turning? That is more of a shearing move and rubbing not properly. So make sure, like in the picture, you're sitting down. That's why either at your desk or, socks and shoes, as I do. Anyway, you take care, and I hope that helps you. Healthy days to you.